Hello all, here in California. We're just not seeing the rain yet. We're halfway through December. This is our rainiest, stormiest month. We hardly have a couple inches. We need to have, 30, 40 inches by the end of this rainy season. But I just don't think it's coming. It doesn't act like it's coming yet. Almost 65 degrees out right now. Warm, pleasant, rain in the forecast, none to be seen. So, with that, what about what happened with the COP24 this year? Let's go over to the board and check it out. I can't do anything with my hair. So, most environmental groups are saying not good enough to the UN COP24. This is their 24th annual conference. And what did they get done? Well, that won't take too much of the board. They were trying to standardize how countries measure their carbon emissions, which is good. That shouldn't take more than 10-15 minutes. From just talking to a climate scientist, they'll tell you how to measure it. No agreement on specific reductions in emissions by 2030 that was agreed on earlier in other conferences. Also, the COP24 agreed for more in-depth talks next year. They had 2 weeks. Couldn't they do just one small in-depth conversation? So the U.S. screwed most of it up by bringing in pro-fossil fuel representatives and speaking for the U.S. Well, that's not very good because I happen to be in the U.S. and I am not for fossil fuels. Unfortunately, the U.S. says that the economy is more important than where we live and the health of ourselves. So, of course, they've opened up almost 90% of all waters to corporations to pollute as they wish. I just couldn't believe that. And then they bring fossil fuel company employees and spokespeople to the COP24 to tell how good it is, how wonderful fossil fuel is and coal and all this, and that it brings jobs. Jobs are useless when we're all dead because of our stupidity for greed and money. The health of yourselves, the planet, is more important than jobs. We've done it in the past. We lived without work. There were hunters and gatherers and people that stayed at home and did it, but there was no money involved. So there wasn't any greed involved. So what was needed and what was done, that was it. There wasn't any extra to make extra money. And that's all the U.S. is concerned about, is money, and money only. So it's obvious that the UN isn't going to do a damn thing about climate change. That is obvious. It's also obvious that most countries aren't going to do a whole lot. There are a few, but honestly, guys, we need to get on the ball. I'll give you one small idea. Let's go over to the board. It's called indoor greenhouses. Vertical farming. In this section of the farm, so this is one of the most important things that we need to do, is take our farming indoors near cities. This is just an idea, an example. It's already being done, vertical farming. What they do is there's a small little platforms in the walls that hold the plants, like this. Light is in the middle, and the plants grow in this way. The building could be as tall as you want it. Then the next chamber may be melons, or squash, or corn. It could be anything. The next one could be beans of all kinds. Again, all with lighting in the middle, giving 360-degree lighting for the plants. It's already being done. And so on and so forth. One crop here, one crop there. The way you harvest it, it's done automatically. You may choose to plant here and harvest here. And this is on a very slow conveyor. And as it goes through day after day, month after month, by the time it reaches the bottom, it's ready for harvest. Same with the melons and the squash and the beans. It all starts here, ends up here at harvest. Now, you say, what about grasses, grains, that sort of thing? Grains would be horizontal. And again, they start here and the harvest is here on a slow conveyor belt, on whatever timetable it takes to get wheat to grow from here to here and then harvested. The harvesting would be 24/7, 365 days of the year. Could be fully automated and distributed to the stores within minutes of being harvested. How fresh is that? Now, the reason this isn't being done or is being subsidized by government is real clear. Because nobody has any money involved with this, right? But this could be easily paid for in taxes, because we already subsidize the oil and gas, military-industrial complex, and mining industries, along with the pharmaceutical industry. Why not substitute the indoor farming industry in the cities? Remove the farms that are out in the grasslands and plant those with trees and midway shrubbery and grasses underneath that. And that would probably be enough to stave off a major calamity with climate change. It's just an idea. It's just one place you could try. Instead of trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic. There's more to a conference than that, cop. You've had 24 years to get something done, and what have you gotten done? Nothing. Nothing at all.